How often do you find yourself delaying essential tasks until the last minute? How does procrastination impact your stress levels and your overall well being? The accumulation of unfinished tasks can create significant anxiety. You felt that, haven't you? You had something you wanted to get done today and you didn't. You worked so hard it wasn't done. And then you take that stress home with you, worrying about completing it tomorrow. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. There's such truth there. We evade doing certain work today, but we still have that responsibility left for tomorrow.
Welcome to the Free Lawyer Podcast. I'm your host, Gary Miles. The Free Lawyer Podcast is designed for the lawyer, entrepreneur, or professional who is in some way unfulfilled, stressed, or stuck, and is looking for something better. We will discuss various blocks that limit us from achieving the personal freedom that we all desire, but have not yet fully experienced. And we will give actionable steps to free yourself from them. Are you looking to achieve a new level of success? If so, this podcast is for you.
Welcome to today's episode of The Free Lawyer. I'm so glad each of you is here. So I started this podcast about 2 years ago, 2.5 years, because I wanted to get as much helpful information out to each of you as I can about how to practice law in a way that you find more fulfilling, more satisfying, how to overcome the stress and overwhelm. So each Monday I give out episodes with pointers about how I think we can improve our life in law. Thursdays, I have a great guest. So click the follow button if you're a first-time listener and enjoy The Free Lawyer. And for those of you who are regular listeners, thank you. Feel free to share The Free Lawyer with other lawyers or legal professionals you know. And if you're open to it, I would love to have you write a rating and review of the podcast, because in today's algorithmic world, it helps a podcast be seen by more people. And today we're going to talk about something that was a huge problem for me during my career, is procrastination. We're going to talk about how to beat procrastination, and I'm going to give you practical tips for you busy lawyers about how you can manage your workload and avoid that terrible procrastination. I like this quote from Abraham Lincoln. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. There's such truth there. We evade doing certain work today, but we still have that responsibility left for tomorrow. How often do you find yourself delaying essential tasks until the last minute? How does procrastination impact your stress levels and your overall well-being? How do you feel when you procrastinate on a task and instead of completing it promptly? How does that affect your stress level, your overall well-being? You're not alone in these struggles. Many of us face similar challenges, and I know that I did myself. I struggled with this. I would not want to take on that big project. I'd clean my whole desk of every other little thing I could that gave me instant gratification and would put the big task off until later. I simply had a hard time getting around to doing it. I made a lot of excuses that I convinced myself they were good ones of why I was doing these other things first, so they didn't get delayed while I worked on that bigger project. We work under such pressure in the legal profession. Our workload seems never ending, doesn't it? You complete one task and then two more are given to you. There's all these tight deadlines and court schedules, and we have so much at stake for our clients and for our careers. Our clients and our firm rely on us, adding to that pressure that we already feel. Procrastination can really be a formidable foe for busy lawyers. It can cause missed deadlines, heightened stress, and diminished productivity. Overcoming it requires more than personal discipline. It's about maintaining professional integrity, delivering exceptional client service, and achieving career success. In today's episode, I'm going to explore the causes and effects of procrastination and also the signs and symptoms of it, because it will help you to understand when you're showing those symptoms those signs of procrastination, so you can take steps to overcome it. But we'll not only talk about the causes, effects, and symptoms, I'm going to give you 12 practical strategies that you can start implementing today to conquer procrastination, enhance your efficiency, and unlock your full potential as a lawyer. So, what is procrastination? We all know what it is. It's when we delay or postpone our tasks, often to the point of experiencing negative consequences. We voluntarily put off tasks that have to be completed, knowing that doing so will lead to stress and guilt and decreased productivity. And often procrastination is how we cope with anxiety or stress or fear of adverse outcomes. I know for me, the things I put off the most were the ones that were most important, the ones that I was afraid of losing that motion for summary judgment, for example. What are some of the causes of procrastination? Why is it that we do that? Why do we delay completing our tasks? These are some of the most common reasons we procrastinate. The first is our fear of failure. We worry about not meeting expectations or making mistakes, and so we avoid completing the task. Because we're afraid of failing, we put off the task that concerns us. 2, perfectionism. Our desire to complete tasks perfectly results in delays. So we wait for the perfect moment or just the right conditions to start. We don't want to complete the project because we're concerned it's not perfect. There's still something we can do to make it even better. 3, overwhelm. Feeling overwhelmed by the size and complexity of a particular task can cause paralysis, making it hard to begin. When tasks are too complicated, we tend to delay them because of the amount of work involved. 4, lack of motivation. Low interest in or enthusiasm for a task can lead to procrastination because we can't find the drive to start or complete it. Sometimes when we're not happy with where we are or we're not fulfilled, our lack of motivation leads us to put off finishing the work we need to do. 5, poor time management. Difficulty prioritizing tasks and managing time effectively can result in putting off important work until the last minute. And we know what kind of problems that creates. Our lack of productivity causes us to fall further behind and further behind, and that creates more stress. And it's just this vicious cycle. Distractions. External distractions such as social media, phone calls, emails, staff interruptions contribute to our procrastination by diverting our attention away from those important tasks. We use those distractions as excuses as to why we didn't get something done, but we can change that. And the other is poor time management. Difficulty prioritizing tasks and managing time effectively results in our putting off our work, causing us to fall further behind. How does procrastination affect us? We've all been there, haven't we? Falling behind in our work, feeling the extra stress of impending deadlines, and being mad at ourselves for not being more timely. Procrastination can have a devastating impact on both our satisfaction, our fulfillment, and our success. And these are some of the ways. The first is missed deadlines. Consistently putting off tasks can lead to a rush to complete work at the last minute at the risk of missing a deadline. 2, increased stress. The accumulation of unfinished tasks can create significant anxiety. You felt that, haven't you? You had something you wanted to get done today and you didn't. You worked so hard, it wasn't done. And then you take that stress home with you, worrying about completing it tomorrow. Reduced quality of work. Our last-minute efforts to get something done before the deadline can result in poor work product because we don't have enough time for thoroughness and accuracy. 5, decreased productivity. Regularly procrastinating will lead to a decrease in our efficiency. We just aren't as productive and aren't as efficient. Lower job satisfaction. The stress and guilt associated with our procrastination will diminish your job satisfaction and harm your personal well-being. Have you experienced any of those? I've actually experienced literally every single one of them. So how do we recognize when procrastination may be a problem for us? What are the signs or symptoms of procrastination that we can be self-aware and to look for? Procrastination manifests itself in various ways, and it leads to stress and decreased productivity and missed deadlines. And recognizing these signs and symptoms that I'm going to lay out for you here is crucial to address the issue effectively. Because when you understand the underlying cause and you recognize these signs of procrastination, those are the first steps towards addressing and overcoming this problem we all face. Some signs of procrastination, including frequently saying, I'll do it later, putting off starting tasks, getting easily distracted, feeling overwhelmed, experiencing anxiety or guilt about not completing your work on time. Here are some common indications of procrastination for lawyers. The first is putting off starting the task. We delay initiating the task. We postpone the start of critical tasks or projects, even when deadlines are approaching. The second symptom is being involved in last-minute rush. How often have you been rushing to get that pleading done and filed on the very last day? Frequently finding yourself working frantically at the last minute to meet deadlines is a symptom, and it results in rushed and potentially lower quality work. 3, avoidance behaviors. Engaging activities less important or unrelated to work, such as excessive social media use, organizing your workspace, lengthy unnecessary conversations with colleagues, or in my case, I avoided the big project by doing every little instant thing I could to get it off my desk. 4, feeling overwhelmed by large tasks. Feeling overwhelmed by the size or complexity of your project can lead to paralysis and avoidance, instead of breaking the task into manageable steps and getting started. 5, excessive perfectionism. Delaying work because you're waiting for just the perfect time or just the right conditions to start, or fearing your efforts won't meet high standards. 6, frequent excuses. Making excuses for not starting or completing tasks, such as, I work better under pressure, or I don't have enough time right now. Making those excuses for delaying something could be a sign. 7, missed deadlines. Failing to meet deadlines consistently or being in jeopardy of missing them can damage your reputation, lead to client dissatisfaction, and make you feel some shame and guilt about your own work product. 8, low productivity. Experiencing days when you feel you've accomplished very little despite spending long hours at work. How often have you been there? I worked so hard today. I was under such stress, I didn't stop, and I got nothing done. That could be a symptom of procrastination. 9, increased stress and anxiety. Feeling constant anxiety about pending tasks and deadlines can be a symptom, and it will impact your well-being. 10, feeling guilt and regret about wasting time or failing to complete tasks on time, and that can lead to a negative cycle of procrastination and more blame and self-criticism. 12, rework and errors, having to redo work because of mistakes made in a rush, and that can further delay progress. Ineffective time management, struggling to prioritize your tasks and managing your time could be a sign of procrastination. Which of those have you experienced? They all can be symptoms of procrastination. Putting off starting your task, having a lot of last-minute rushes to get things done, avoiding doing certain work, feeling overwhelmed by big projects. Excessive perfectionism, making excuses, missing deadlines or being in danger of missing deadlines, not being productive, feeling stress or anxiety, guilt or regret, having to rework your pleadings constantly to make them even better. Recognizing these signs and symptoms of procrastination, it's really the first step towards addressing this issue. By understanding how procrastination manifests itself in your professional life, you can then take proactive steps to overcome it, improve your productivity, reduce your stress, and enhance your overall job satisfaction. Helpful strategies for lawyers to overcome procrastination. What are they? What are some strategies we could follow to help overcome procrastination? I'm going to give you 12 strategies here that, trust me, if you put these into play, you will really overcome that problem of procrastination. The first is to prioritize your task. Use prioritization techniques to focus on the most critical and most urgent matters first. Apply the Eisenhower matrix to categorize your work into 4 quadrants: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor essential. And that will help you to prioritize your work effectively and plan your work accordingly. 2, break tasks into smaller steps. We don't mind answering that email or that short letter, but it's the big projects that are a problem. And dividing those large, daunting matters into smaller, more manageable steps makes them so much less overwhelming. Sometimes, I know I did, we put off the big projects because they seem so daunting, and we worry about how long they'll take. If we break them down into smaller pieces, they're much more manageable. So if you have a big motion for summary judgment to file, write your introduction one day, write the statement of facts the next, write the issues presented the next. Then each day do one of your arguments, and you'll find it's much easier when you do it that way. 3, plan your day. Establish your daily routine the night before. That includes dedicated time blocks for specific projects. Literally use your calendar or your planner the night before to schedule what you're going to do the next day, what projects you're going to work on during what hour, including breaks and buffer time for unexpected interruptions. Creating a daily routine will provide structure and consistency to your workday. 4, use time management techniques. Schedule a specific amount of time to work when you're given projects, such as 45 minutes. If you have that long opposition to a motion for summary judgment, don't try to write it all in one day. Just work on for 45 minutes. And when you finish, take a break of 5 minutes to clear your mind and to transition to the next project. That will really increase your efficiency. 5, eliminate distractions. This is so important. We use distractions as excuse why we don't get our work done on time. Eliminate them. Turn off notifications on your computer. Turn your phone off completely. Close any unnecessary tabs on your computer and create a quiet, clutter-free workspace. Let your staff know you're working on something important and you can't be interrupted. And with your phone away and your computer not distracting, your staff not bothering you, you can then really have that uninterrupted space where you can get something done. 6, forget about perfection and focus on the process. Shift your mindset away from aiming for perfection to focusing on progress and effort. Remind yourself that starting and progressing is better than waiting for the perfect conditions. 7, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself and avoid harsh self-criticism. We blame ourselves so much when we think we procrastinate. We beat ourselves up. We not only do it, but then we just make ourselves feel worse. Understand that everybody procrastinates at times. It's part of our human experience. When you catch yourself procrastinating, acknowledge it without judgment, and then get your focus back. 8, use positive reinforcement. Reward yourself in some way when you complete a big project. Treat yourself to something enjoyable when you finish that task or you've achieved that milestone. 9, embrace delegation. Sometimes we hesitate to delegate someone to our associate or our paralegal because we could do it better and faster. We don't want to take the time to train them and correct and oversee and manage their work. But over time, delegation saves you so much time. Delegate tasks that can be handled by others to free up your time for more important work. Think about what you can give to your junior associate, your paralegal or your legal assistant, or outsource services, and then delegate them. 10, visualize success. Use visualization techniques to imagine the successful completion of your tasks. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing yourself completing your tasks efficiently and experiencing positive outcomes. 11, plan ahead. Shift from reactive to proactive by planning ahead and anticipating challenges. Plan early deadlines for each step of a project to be completed. Review the schedule and your deadlines daily. And if you plan ahead and schedule things early, you won't feel such last-minute pressure. 12, seek accountability. Find an accountability partner to help keep you on track and motivated. Schedule regular check-ins with your partner to discuss progress, challenges, and goals. And the one thing I found is having a mentor can really help. When I work with my lawyer clients, at the end of each session, we talk about what they're going to do in the next 2 weeks, what goals they have, and what steps they're going to take to completing them. And they know that 2 weeks from then, when we meet, I'm going to ask them, how did you do? What's the status of this? In a very nice way. But knowing that they have that session coming up where they're going to be held accountable, they tend to get things done in those 2 weeks. You all know I wrote a book called Breaking Free that was released last December. It was quite a project, but I put it off. I procrastinated for so long. And the only way I was able to really get done is when my coaches, Scott Aaron and Nancy Evans, set for me a schedule to complete it. And I had to do certain stages of it by certain deadlines. And I did that. I was motivated to complete it by those deadlines because I knew they'd be asking me, what have you done? So a mentor can be really, really helpful in holding you accountable for working on procrastination. You know, when you implement these 12 strategies, you will find that procrastination will no longer be such an issue for you. So remember, prioritize your tasks, break big projects into smaller steps. Plan your tomorrow today on your daily planner. Use time management techniques. Get rid of all those distractions. Focus on excellence, not perfection. Be kind to yourself. Use positive reinforcement. Delegate your task when you can. Visualize your own success. Plan ahead early on the bigger projects and use an accountability partner. When you use those steps, you can effectively overcome procrastination. You will enhance your productivity and you will achieve tremendous success and satisfaction. And the most helpful tool really is having an accountability partner like a mentor who can work with you through these issues. The key for you is to start small, stay consistent, and continuously refine your approach to find what works best. I know procrastination can feel like an insurmountable obstacle, but with the right strategies and the right mindset, you can turn it into an opportunity for growth and excellence. By setting clear goals, prioritizing your tasks, managing your time effectively, embracing accountability, you can overcome procrastination and reclaim control over your professional and personal life. Remember, every small step forward is a victory. Implementing these techniques will make you more productive, less stressed, more fulfilled, and more free in your career. Don't let procrastination hold you back from achieving your true potential. Take action today, and pave the way for a future defined by success and accomplishment. I know for me, I found procrastination a real problem, and I've learned how to manage it and how to overcome it. And I coach some amazing lawyer clients who have struggled with it as well, and I help them to overcome it. And if you have an issue with procrastination, if it's a problem for you, let's chat. Let's see if we click and I can be of service to you. I will put a link in the show notes where you can schedule a call with me, or you can reach out to me at gary@garymiles.net. I look forward to speaking to you. If you think I can be helpful, thank you for listening today. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, email me at gary@garymiles.net, or if you have any thoughts of how I can make this podcast work better for you, I would love to hear them. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with me today. I appreciate you very, very much. And as always, please be well, be safe, and be free.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Free Lawyer Podcast. Wherever you are listening, if you enjoyed what I shared, please leave me a rating and review. I would appreciate hearing more about what you like best and what topics you might like me to cover in future episodes. If you are interested in experiencing a more fulfilling and a more successful life, please contact me at www.garymiles.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me so I can learn more about you, your challenges, and your dreams. I appreciate each and every one of you and have a great rest of your day. Thanks to all of you for your support.